Sisters, it's gonna be May, and tonight we fly. Friends! Hello! Welcome back to Amethyst Craftworks. I'm Samantha, and welcome to a Movie Marquee Challenge update. Now, as you saw in the beginning there, we've got a new month on the calendar, on the Hocus Pocus calendar. All three of the ladies, well, there's my hand, there we go. All three of the sisters are up there. And that means it's May, which means it's a new month, a new movie, a new pick, new projects, all sorts of new things. And so I'm going to go over some things with you today for the month of May. So if you're down for that, then maybe grab a drink and let's just get into it. So first of all, if this is the first time you are joining us for the Movie Marquee, which, why? Why is this the first month? We are 5 months into the year. But anyway, if this is the first time you are joining us, the Movie Marquee Challenge is a crochet along hosted by Bella from Bella's Crochet Gifts, Heather the Crochet Witch, and me, Samantha from Amethyst Craftworks. The three of us are taking turns picking movies each month, and then we are all basing projects on the movie's poster, pulling inspiration from the colors, the actors, the characters, the story, the scenes, a quote, anything you want from the movie. We are basing projects on that in that month. And this month, in May, it was Bella's pick. And I'm going to put the poster up over here. But before I do, if you haven't seen her reveal, if you haven't seen her pick, she will be linked down below. I promise I will not be mad if you pause me. Go check her out. See what she picks, so this isn't a spoiler. And then come back and see what I've got to babble at you about. But if you've already seen it, then her movie was Never-Ending Story, which I have a very hard time not singing. I won't subject you guys to my singing, but you know, if you know, you know. The Never-Ending Story has a tune to it that I just immediately want to sing. But that's not part of the Movie Marquee Challenge. The challenge is with the colors in the poster. It is a very pretty poster. The colors are lovely in it. And I will also admit to you guys that this movie was, I would say, in my maybe top 10 picks to pick for myself for the Movie Marquee. So you know I am very pleased with this pick too. Bella's other pick for February, I think it was The Goonies. Also, very nostalgic movie. There is a soft spot in my heart for The Never-Ending Story, but there's also a dark spot in my heart for The Never-Ending Story. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say, maybe we could talk about it in a future update, but The Never-Ending Story had some good old childhood trauma in it for very little young Samantha, right? But anyway, the whole point of this video is to show you my picks for colors for this month's movie poster. My inspiration, the colors of yarn that I'm going to be using for my project, which just so happens to be granny squares to make a cardigan out of. I'm doing 6 or 7 squares a month, one of which has an applique on it. And the applique squares are going to go in the front panels of the cardigan that I am making. And then the other squares are kind of going to be scattered randomly around on the back, on the sleeves, on the shoulders, wherever. A hood, whatever I decide, however I decide to do it, the other squares are going to be kind of randomly jumbled together, right? And so, hold on. Squeaky chair, be squeaky. But I've got my project bag, this witchy Halloweeny project bag that I have dubbed my Movie Marquee Challenge project bag. And in here are some yarns. So let's go over them, okay? So I'm almost positive the movie poster is very likely not still up. So I will put it back over there so you can compare and contrast the colors that I have picked. But the first ones that I'm going to pull out of my bag here are blue. Now the poster itself is very blue intensive. And it also ties into Bella, who picked. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think Bella's birthday is in May. And so her favorite color is blue, if you didn't know. So it felt very fitting to pick a bunch of blues for Bella's pick in May, in her birth month, so on and so forth, right? So I've got two here, two light blues. This is sky blue. And this is cornflower blue. Two very pretty light blues. I like those. I've got so much stuff everywhere, so... Then I have a full one here. This is and they're also Big Twist Value. Did I even show you? Do I need to show you? I feel like all my yarn every month, all month, all year has always been Big Twist Value. But in case you didn't see, it is Big Twist Value. This is Varsity Blue. Although, somewhere in here, where is it? There you are. I have a tiny little scrap ball of Big Twist Value, Varsity Blue. This as well is going in there. So I haven't like dipped into the full skein yet because I still have a scrap here. But this is the same color. And then I've also got Big Twist Value, Varsity Navy Blue. And so I thought these, let me situate myself here. I thought these made quite a pretty gradient, ombre-ish-esque color scheme to go with all those beautiful blues that are in the night sky over there, right? The starry galaxy kind of sky that's in the background of the poster. And all these blues, I thought it sort of fit. And I have done a bit of blue in my square so far, but I have not had these light blues in them yet. So we're adding these to the mix of the ridiculous colors that are going in my granny square cardigan. But then, sorry, I had to grab my bag here. I have got the remainder of Basic Stitch Anti-Pill from Line Brand. This is the color Heather Gray or Gray Heather, one of those. I have used this in a couple of squares and a couple of months and a couple of themes. I used it last month in 10 Things I Hate About You for Heath Ledger. This was his color. I've got a decent sized ball left, but it was definitely floppy enough to warrant balling it up. So I've got this color. And I've also got the return of Karen Simply Soft in gold, because the lettering and the movie title, there's accents of gold, you know. Gold also looks really beautiful with the blues and stuff too, so I thought this would look quite nice. And again, this is just Karen Simply Soft. I have used this one also quite a bit in my project, so I will say, even though each month has its own set of colors and it's all going to be kind of crazy and ridiculously colored. There will be colors that sort of translate between one month to the next that will maybe help tie it together. We'll see, at least in my brain here, that's what we're doing. But this is Karen Simply Soft. And then the last two colors, let me just pull them on out of here. These are for the squares, of course. Like, for example, this is a scrap ball of Big Twist Value in white. I've got this. Set it over there. I've also got kind of a vaguely floppy, I was going to say a vaguely sloppy skein. It's not a sloppy skein, but it is a floppy skein of white from Red Heart. Pretty sure it's just called white. Yep, it's just called white. So I've got more white here. There is white in the poster, as you can maybe see again or still. Who knows? It should be over there anyway. But there's white accents for sure. Falcor, good old Falcor. We all know he's white, so that's in there too. But the white and a cream off-white color, these are specific for my applique. Now, just like last month, I didn't tell you right off the bat what my applique idea was, and this month I'm not going to either. I will say, if you look at my color choices here, the white and the off-white, there is a certain character that you are probably thinking, oh, she's totally doing on her applique. And I will say, that's a good guess. But it may not be the character you are thinking of. I'm just going to put it out there. But I've got, again, the white, and this is off-white from Craft Smart Value, which is Michael's value cheapo brand of yarn. So it's the difference is subtle. I guess if I hold them back here, you can probably see it a bit better. The difference is subtle, and that's good. I wanted a white and an off-white that were almost the same color, but you could still kind of differentiate them. Keep that in mind, okay, for when you see my applique. But these are the last two colors that I've got. Everything else is blues and gray and gold, right? But wait, there's one last thing I wanted to show you, because I was so excited to have this palette to work with, and also my hat is, I feel like it's slowly sliding off my head. But anyway, I was so excited to have this color palette picked out. I was so excited to have these different blues to work with that I made a square already. Now, it is not totally completed. All my tails are still here. I do leave this very last tail on the first round just so I know this side is the back side of the square very easily. But I usually, when I show you my squares, I will have sewn in all my tails. This time I didn't, because I did this morning and I was just so stinking excited to have it done that I wanted to show you, because I think the shades of blue and the white do indeed make a very, very pretty gradient. It's not exact. The light blues are different shades, like this is maybe a bit more gray, this one's a bit more vibrant, so on and so forth, but I thought it looked awesome, right? It's very pretty, and these colors are very much outside my comfort zone, as you can probably tell. My taste in color does not include this much color usually, but I was really excited to make this square and thought it turned out awesome. And so this is only like ignited a fire in me that I want to like work on this right the heck now. But I will pace myself. Excuse me, because if I don't, I will have all 6 squares and the applique done way too quickly, and then I'll just be sitting here twiddling my thumbs with nothing to do for the rest of the month. So we're gonna pace ourselves, but I did make one square. What do you think? Do you like my colors? What say you? What colors have you picked out of the poster? Do you like this movie? Have you seen it a bunch of times like I have? Does it trigger childhood traumatic memories just like it does for me, which we can talk about maybe in my next update when I've got my applique worked on, right? We'll discuss that. But if you are joining in, leave me a comment and let me know. Give me a thumbs up as well if you like the Movie Marquee. Bella and Heather, my girls, they are always linked down below, as well as a link to Heather's Facebook group if you want to join in there with us as well. And a playlist to all the Movie Marquee shenanigans are down there too, as well as a link to the Granny Square tutorial that I use of Heather's for my squares. If I have appliques, if I'm talking about the appliques, the patterns will be linked down there. The links in the description are always a good place to start for things. And yeah, I think that's everything. Excuse me, I think that's everything. The fact that I am coughing here means, one, I need a drink, maybe a nice hot tea, sounds fabulous. And two, I just need to let you go. And so thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing today. And until I've got another update or another something for you, I hope you have a great week and take care. Goodbye.